Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Your Disabled Joy. My name is Nico, and I use he, him pronouns. I'm a white man with parted blonde hair, large blue and brown spectacles that probably need to be washed, a light purple dress shirt, and I'm seated in front of some bookcases and a purple wall in my house. And like about 25% of the US population, I'm disabled. Non-disabled individuals might see our lives as sad or pitiful or tragic, but I don't know, guys. I've been disabled a pretty long time, and I think there also exists the capability for disabled joy. Our community is very large and has as many members as it has opinions, which is why I've asked my friend Meryl here with me today to talk about disabled joy. Meryl, hello. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Nico, for having me. So I have curly hair to my shoulder. I am a proud native Texan, and my pronouns are she, her. I'm cool with they as well. I mean, you just never know. You can't remember someone's pronouns, so they seem like a safe choice, right? And I was born profoundly deaf, so I have been disabled since day one. Probably day minus whatever when my mom was pregnant.
I can respect that. Thank you so much, Meryl. Meryl, can you share a joyful memory with us? It could have to do with your disability, or it could be totally separate. Either is valid.
So the first one that came to mind was finishing my TEDx talk. I had to memorize it, no script. I had one hiccup, but it was the phantom slide. It was due to the phantom slide. It was changing on their own, and it caught me off guard. So I was kind of frozen for a second. And so the funny one, no one sees in the video, I said, looks like my slides are going on an adventure without me. And now it's not part of the script, but I'm glad they cut it. I mean, it was great for the audience, but it wasn't part of my talk.
Meryl, thank you so much. I'm glad that you managed to find a way out of that tech snafu and that you delivered a really high quality speech. Fantastic. Have there been ways where your disability has impacted or interfered your ability to pursue joyful things or to pursue your own happiness?
Typically, no. I mean, it doesn't affect my ability to enjoy life. But that's the thing about disability. There's two sides. They can lead to a lot of exciting moments in your life, but they can also lead to many sad moments in your life, like depression. It is definitely the cause of my depression. So, there is a connection. That's why there's a high incidence of people with disabilities who have depression. CDC data shows the disparity in health issues between people with disabilities and without disabilities. And the biggest one is depression. 42% of people with disabilities have it, while only 12% without disabilities have depression. But I bet you the numbers are lower than they should be because so many people see it as a stigma and they won't reveal that about themselves if they can help it, especially if they have a disability. It's bad enough that they have to share they have a disability and they're not going to want to share their mental health status as well.
Meryl, thank you so much. As someone who is an information nerd and kind of like a census data nerd, I knew about the disparity in, say, marriage rates between non-disabled people and disabled people, or rates of educational attainment between those two groups, but not this depression statistic. Thank you so much for helping me learn and for helping our viewers learn as well. Meryl, you and I have both been disabled since day one, or as you so eloquently put it, since before day one, since day zero, since launch. So I'm going to ask you to do something very difficult, right? If there was just one thing, only one, that you wanted everyone else to know about disabled life and disabled quality of life, what would that be?
Don't make assumptions.
Okay.
Don't assume. That's number one. Is whenever people ask me for advice about disabilities and whatever, my first two answers are don't assume and always ask. And you can't go wrong with that. I mean, don't assume I know sign language because I was born deaf. I don't. I know signs, but I can't have a conversation in sign language. I'm not fluent at all. And don't assume because someone doesn't understand what you're saying that they're not bright. It's simply a communication barrier. It's not someone not being very smart. I avoid saying certain words on purpose because of the connection with mental health and other disabilities. So hopefully you all know what I'm talking about. You know, that a lot of people assume a deaf person is not very smart because they're not understanding what you're saying when it's simply a communication barrier. There's a difference, you know.
I do. And I think it's really important to point out. I'm someone who has a lot of friends, a lot of connections with the chronic illness community, where brain fog and forgetfulness may be both a symptom of conditions, but also a symptom of medication taken to treat those conditions. So
great example, Nico, great example, because yeah, medication can affect it. A lot of people, some people with COVID are dealing with brain fog, and it's not your intelligence being affected. It's just the mechanism that helps you tap into it. It's been delayed or tweeted differently, for lack of a better word. You just can't tap it. But when you're having a good day, you've got your full intelligence. So your intelligence not disappearing, it's just accessing it is a little different for the time. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's an important distinction to draw. Thank you. Meryl, as I come to my last planned question, I want to pose to you a question I ask all my interviewees, regardless of project. Is there a recent win that you're celebrating that you want to name that we might celebrate along with you? Or if not, what cool things are you doing? Where can people find you online if they want to know more? This is your chance to be your own promoter, your own cheerleader. This is your soapbox moment, Meryl. So let's hear it.
Thank you, Nico. Yeah, I just happened to get a major win recently, last week, actually. So I emailed the city manager and the mayor of my town, Plano, Texas, and I had just gone to dinner with friends, and at the restaurant, actually it was a boardwalk, and a lot of the restaurants have outdoor seating, and they have TVs at all of them. Some of them had captions. The one I was at did not have captions turned on. And then I saw an article about Boston making a requirement that all public-facing TVs must have captions turned on. I'm like, that's no big deal. It's free. It costs nothing. Maybe the only thing you have to do is figure out how to turn it on. The city manager replied right away and said, I will have my team look into them. A few months later, which was about 2 weeks ago tomorrow, the city manager emailed me and said, we're going to put the resolution at the next meeting on Monday, and he wanted to let me know. So naturally, I knew I had to go to the meeting and I had to sign up to speak. And I told a friend about it who's doctor and influencer in our community who happened to be deaf and hard of hearing. And he came to speak as well. So we said our piece and they passed the resolution unanimously. So what it does is require all city properties, public-facing people to have caption turned on. So anything that's on a city property has to be on. But for businesses, it's optional because it's not enforceable. It's very hard to enforce a law that you have to have caption turned on, and I get that. Our police forces are overwhelmed, and they have bigger crimes to worry about than somebody not turning the caption on, right? But it's so wonderful because it's educating people. Please do that. And so now my friend and I are trying to spread the message and get more cities in the North Texas area to do the same. And we also need to educate the businesses because they may not follow the city's resolution because it's not a law, it's a resolution. Those are different. So, but it's still amazing progress. I'm not sure if there's progress over perfection with the accessibility icon and the over, because every little bit matters. It seems like no big deal, but it is because we're trying to normalize accessibility. We want caption to be on everywhere, and that'll be a stepping stone to the next thing we make accessible. So every little thing we do can lead to more accessibility. And people can find me on Meryl.net and on LinkedIn. You can find me on LinkedIn easily. I mean, with a name like mine, it's pretty easy to find me.
Meryl, thank you so much. Thank you for everything you're doing. Getting those captions in Plano is fantastic. It's a great first step. The work that future generations do will build off the work that you do, that I do, that all of our friends do. So I see you in that. Audience, tune in next time. I'm rooting for you. And Meryl, thank you again.
Thank you, Nico. Awesome.